That's where we get our water. I assume somebody comes and fills it up. And there's also solar panel in front to power it. And over here to the right is where I do my Bali language lessons and my lessons about Buddhism. What we're working with today is 6 clothespins and a couple hangers. And this Thai detergent that you can buy anywhere, 7-Eleven. It's so confusing. If you go to the store, bring your phone and Google Translate so you can read the labels, but they use these crazy fonts that are hard to read. I can read Thai, I can sound it out. Like this one says hom, which just means fragrant. But I can't read all the other stuff because it's all these weird, crazy fonts. So here's what we're gonna do today. Just fill it up with water. The reason this is at the front of the house, by the way, hope so you can hear me clearly, is so you can wash your feet when you come back from Bin Tabat. Bin Tabat is when you walk through the village and people put food inside of your what's called a bat, this big round thing, round metal thing. Originally they were clay, like way back in the day, hundreds of years ago, but that got to be cumbersome. So while we're washing clothes, why don't I just talk about whatever pops in my head? So they would put them in these clay jars. And by the way, why are we only allowed to go into the village and get food once a day and only before noon? We have to eat before noon? Well, hundreds of years ago, maybe even 1,000 years ago, I don't know. I heard the story in Thai, and I do my best to listen and follow along and understand what's going on. But hundreds or 1,000 years ago, or whatever it was, in India, people started taking advantage of the system, and some people were actually getting fat and that kind of thing. So that's why they limit it to once a day. And spiders everywhere coming out of the woodwork. They limit it to once a day, and you got to eat before noon so you're not abusing the system. And the system works both ways. The monks provide spiritual assistance, help to the local people, and the local people give them food, and everybody just gives a little bit. It's not like they're cooking a pot roast and dumping it in your bot. You know what I mean? They give like a little handful of rice, or maybe some dried fish, a couple bananas, you know, whatever they have. It's not a big deal, but, you know, it adds up when it's a whole village. So I'm trying to be kind of careful here and not get my feet too wet. My left foot's doing okay. My right foot, after 10 days of Bin Tabat, walking through a village with jagged streets, and I mean, they pour the concrete, then they dump rocks into it. So in Hawaii, we have some type of lava, all different types of lava. One's called a'a, and that's the jagged kind that sticks up. And it's not as bad as a'a, but it's pretty brutal walking over that stuff. And then there's loose gravel that sometimes sticks in your foot, so it hurts every step you take. And you have to walk calmly and keep your cool. And that's what I think about when I'm out there doing the Bin Tabat. There's broken glass everywhere. It's something that each step I take, I say, put toe, put toe. It's just a mantra to get the pain out of your mind as you're walking. So I think I already mentioned this detergent is cheap. You can buy it at any Thai store, Big C, any 7-Eleven, anywhere, all different sizes. When you walk into a store, it'll actually blow your mind how many varieties they have. It's like you walk down an aisle and there's just so many varieties of soap and all different fragrances to choose from. It's just kind of nuts. And for me, it's difficult because the fragrance I'm looking for is no fragrance. I don't want extra chemicals and stuff. And you can get weird skin reactions to different chemicals and stuff. They're in detergents. So I'm looking for the one, I don't know what it would be called, Blau. I don't know what the what the word would be, but no fragrance, or Mani Glim, something like that. But I haven't been able to find any. It's difficult. I can't read it. I look on this giant aisle of all these different types of detergents, and I don't know what to do. It just kind of blows my mind. So anyway, there's a little sidebar. ไปเดิมน้ำมันนะครับโซลาร์ยังไม่พอเหรอโซลาร์มันโอเคทำงานปกติโซลาร์ Oh, good. Okay. Last night there was no power at all. The solar ran out. That's the thing when you rely on solar, right? Yesterday was nice and cool. I really enjoyed it. The whole day I was thinking, wow, I'm not sweating. Kind of like today. I'm not sweating. There's a nice breeze. Just kind of enjoying it. And boop, the power went out completely. There was not enough solar to supply power for the whole day. And it happened right as it's getting dark. Had to cruise through the jungle. I fell flat on my face. I tripped over a root. Of course, I'm wearing sandals. There are poisonous snakes here, tons of spiders. We're walking through the jungle. And I didn't know entirely why we're going to switch over some kind of electrical system or something, but when we got there, I understood it was a generator. An old Japanese generator that he had to do a whole bunch of weird little things to get it to run. I didn't understand what's going on. I'm not a mechanic, okay? I don't have a degree in generatorology or anything like that. So we got it going, and then he just walked by pushing a bunch of fuel, I guess, in case it's going to happen again today. We were talking about, again, every time it's getting dark and I have to walk around somewhere at night, they say, are you afraid of ghosts? Are you worried about ghosts? And they all say there are ghosts here. And they say they've seen them. And I said I heard this whirring kind of sound. It's really strange. It sounded like a drone. Almost a human voice. Almost somebody faking a drone sound. Like a voice trying to tell you how a drone sounds. And I figured out what it was. I told him, I don't know what it was. He's like, have you seen a ghost yet? He's seen them before, and other people have. And I said I had not, but I heard that noise. He's like, oh, I wonder what that is. And everything. Just now he came by, I told him. He's getting ready to plant a papaya tree. And so he walked. Boy, I'm really not good at storytelling, am I? He walked by with diesel fuel for the generator to fill up for tonight, just in case. And as he's coming back, he's got a papaya tree in his push cart. We call it Rotken, I think, because Rot is vehicle and Ken is push. So Rotken, it's also a shopping cart at your supermarket. It's called a Rotken. If you know anybody named Ken, maybe you can remember it that way. But he's coming by with a Rotken, and he had a papaya tree in it. And he was about to say something about, hey, what about that ghost or something like that? And I interrupted him, and I told him I figured out what it is. The lead monk, which they call Tansong, Prajan Tansong, he came by on his electric bicycle. I'm like, that's the noise. But what had me confused was, what is he doing at, 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 in the morning? So he must have been up tending to some kind of monk business or something, or I don't know. Maybe something happened on the compound that he had to take care of. But I heard that noise like 2, 3 in the morning. Or somebody came in and snaked his bike to go for a joyride at 2, 3 in the morning. I guess that's possible too. I mean, weird things happen. So I've got to the point now to where I'm manually running it through the washer cycle, and I'm just going to dump this water. Again, this is the first time I've done that. So I'm going to dump it away from my front door, somewhere that kind of makes sense maybe, and then rinse it and do that maybe a couple more times and then hang it. I don't know if the termites will appreciate it, but These two mounds here are big old termite mounds. It won't affect them. I'm just gonna dump right in between the two termite mounds. See how that works? Squeeze out best I can. Wow. How we wash clothes in the jungle, huh? Boy, you made a right decision by tuning into Dagwood's Thailand this episode. Where else are you gonna find jungle laundry? I mean, if you Google jungle laundry, who knows what kind of crazy stuff you'd see. Will this pop up? I don't know. Maybe it depends on what keywords I use, but who's Googling jungle laundry anyway?